From the Cardinal Athletic Complex, it's time for game number 2 of our soccer doubleheader here on CTN Coon Rapids. It's a girls soccer matchup between the Centennial Cougars and the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro. Bill Hupp filling in for Joe Young today, doing my best on a beautiful night for soccer. Boys game just happened. Centennial, as you take a look at John Karen for the Coon Rapids. See, I told you I was a villain. For the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Coon Rapids in the black uniforms with the red lettering and trim. Moving left to right, Centennial kicking off, and they're wearing the all-white uniforms with the red lettering and trim. Centennial, one of the powerhouse programs in the state of Minnesota, led by manager Krista Carlson in her second season in charge. After replacing a legend at Centennial, Carlson picked up where she left off. 19-2 last year, finished second in state, losing in the state title game to the Stillwater Ponies 1-0.
I didn't know you were there. She replaced a legend. Yeah, this will be an interesting game, Bill. I mean, this is, as you mentioned, a pretty good team in Centennial. Cardinals, Centennial lost a lot last year, but their feeder program is so good they've been able to replace it with a lot of younger players. Coon Rapids, they lost Lucy Wynn to injury, so she's a big part of this team that won't be here tonight. And so I think similar to the boys and what we talked about, I think it's an opportunity if Coon Rapids can get on the board early and put a little pressure on Centennial. They have an opportunity here. And again, just limit the looks that Centennial gets, because they're going to make you pay. If they get looks in front of the net, they're going to put the ball in the back of it.
Coon Rapids missing Lucy Wynn, as you mentioned, one of the co-captains tonight due to a knee injury. Emily Snicker due to an ankle injury. So a couple senior starters
early on
out for Coon Rapids, and they're also trying to replace Anna Kepke and Molly Knobloch, who are both playing for the St. Thomas Tommies.
Yes.
Now, as Addison Van Zee forces a play out of bounds on the near side, just underway, Cardinals and Cougars, as you take a look at Monica Bolanos, the junior defender. And Centennial, as we said, just an absolutely powerhouse program. They've gone 90-12-5 over the last 6 years and have appeared in 3 of the last 5 state title games that have been played. Here's a shot from the top of the box through the crossbar and over from Addison Van Zee. Addie Van Zee, one of the leading returning scorers for Centennial. In fact, the leading returning scorer, 7 goals and 5 assists last year as a sophomore. Now as a junior, she's stepping into that leadership role, along with Madeline Skalicki, the captain for Centennial, and Marissa Frost, another junior and a fantastic athlete, just committed to North Dakota State for basketball. Marissa Frost did. Great point guard for the Cougars.
Oh, yeah, we saw her. We covered games last year. She was a really good basketball player.
She can drain a three.
Yes,
that is for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So the Cougars, those are the 3 players that Krista Carlson, in talking to her before the game, highlighted they're stepping into the leadership role, a leadership role that has been voided by 10 graduated seniors, 4 of whom are now playing Division I soccer, as Skalicki earns the foul from behind.
Well, they just seem to reload. We talked to the coach just before this contest kicked off, and their youth program is so good at Centennial in terms of bringing these young girls up through the program. And then it just leads into playing good quality varsity soccer.
Yeah, it's a young program, as Krista Carlson talked about. Oh, nearly an opportunity there. Good job by Coon Rapids and the goalie Stella Bone to come off her line. Stella, a freshman, but they're just they're a young program. But so a lot of those kids that have started playing for Centennial SC are now becoming part of the program here. Correct. And why wouldn't you want to be a part of a program that has the legacy, especially lately? I believe they've won 5 straight section titles.
Yeah, they're a solid program.
Bone comes out. I mixed Stella and Bone, so I said Bella.
Bella.
Stella Bone comes off her line. There you see her, not afraid to come out and take on the tough challenges. First corner of the game earned for either team. It'll be an outswinger for Centennial, as Addie Van Zee will take it. Van Zee, and Bone jumps on it before her opponent could get to it. Addison Whitberg, the sophomore, was looming.
So the Cardinals will have the wind with them at their backs here in the first half.
Good recovery by Skalicki. Nasi Bula, whose brother was a key contributor for the Centennial boys team last year. Nasi got a little bit of time off the bench, but now obviously with 10 seniors, they returned 2 starters in Frost and Van Zee. The flag's up on the far side, so offside on number 17, Callista Halatsis.
Yeah, they started their season with a 1-0 win over White Bear Lake this past Saturday.
Coach Carlson's alma mater.
Yep.
Said it was a tentative game, both teams just trying to feel their way through it.
Usually that first game is. Look at the speed.
Speed from Halatsis, it's spinning and goes out of play. I believe that's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, it should be.
Not sure why
Yep.
Halatsis didn't continue to chase it.
I would have thought you would have, because there weren't any Cardinal players there.
No.
And both out of the goal.
Yeah, the speed up top for Centennial is...
It's evident.
But you look at their stats, they're having to replace a lot of their goal scoring.
Well, that'll tell the tale of their season if they're able to do that and score goals on a regular basis.
Nice job by Van Zee, and Bone comes out to collect. Yeah, you look at, the 10 seniors, senior All-Staters, Lauren Ollis and Allie Hamsky, Sydney Cubes on defense, Brooklyn Bordson in the midfield, Tatum Treadle off the bench. I mean, they brought on Tatum Treadle off the bench, and now she's playing Division I soccer at St. Thomas. So that just goes to show you the kind of talent that they had at their disposal. That takes a deflection off of Bolanos right to Bone. Now it's stolen back by the Cougars.
Yeah, you can take that talent, develop it into Division I talent. That says a lot for your program.
As you see, Jeff Karen, John Karen.
John Karen.
I'll get his name right. These days.
About the second half.
No wonder he didn't bring me a sweatshirt. I don't deserve one.
Well, you get his name right, you might get a sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's a good step. That's a good first step.
That's the deal.
Foul, I believe, near the edge, so going to be a free kick for Centennial. 2 fouls now on Coon Rapids. As the captain, Maddie Skalicki, comes over to take it. Skalicki, left-footed. Bone comes out off her hands. It's up in the air. Bone retrieves it, I should say. Retreats and retrieves it. It's kind of the most, she looks from here anyway, like the most diminutive player on the field.
Yeah, she does. But she's had
always a challenge as a goalie.
She's had a lot of action here early on.
Yeah, she's definitely, if she wasn't warmed up before, she is now.
She definitely is now.
Centennial has a big game in Northwest Suburban Conference play coming up at home on Wednesday.
And you'll be there.
Their rivals, I will.
Yeah.
For North Metro TV, facing their rival, the Blaine Bengals, who are loaded this year.
Did you say it was a home game?
It is a home game,
okay.
Yeah. It's in Circle Pines, and it should be a good one between those two teams. Opportunity now here for the Cougars. Bone makes the save, dives on it, still loose in the box. Cougars racing after it. Cardinals managed to poke it away, and now they're able to clear through Kaylin Green. They get it up, and now it certainly seems like it's going to be a counterattacking game again for Coon Rapids, much as it was in the boys' game.
Yep. Well, they know against a team like that, they're going to have to try and catch them off guard a little bit to get those opportunities to score.
And sometimes, if you're Coon Rapids, you hang around in a game like this, and you grow in belief, and all of a sudden you get a lucky bounce or a hard-earned goal or something. Anything can happen. Game of soccer is funny in that way. Wittenberg down line, looking for a racing Halatsis. And a nice job of defense coming over Tessa Del Forte.
Yeah, she did a really good job of staying with her. And she was trying to gain that edge and get around her, but again, doing a nice job of making sure she couldn't get there.
Actually, that's Isabel Allen, I beg your pardon. Credit where it's due.
Absolutely.
Pink shoes of Presley Napoti. Back for Bula. In the middle, they're just winning every 50-50 ball. Nice move by Van Zee. She has her shot driven down by Allen, and it goes out of play. There you see Addie Van Zee, who again was a big contributor as a sophomore.
Yeah, this defense for Coon Rapids will have their work cut out for them tonight.
There's a square looking for Halatsis, and again bothered by Bolanos. Centennial just getting to every 50-50 ball first. In the box, it flashes in front of Bone and goes out of play.
Yeah, I mean, they do a really nice job of getting the opportunity to create shots for themselves.
Coach Karen has to be pleased with what he's seen so far. It's a scoreless game so far between the Cougars and the Cardinals. Centennial once again on the attack. There's a spinning shot that goes wide of the left post. The foot of Isabella Sipe, who's a twin sister Gabriella, also on the team this year. Isabella got some minutes off the bench last year for the Cougars, who come in with a record of 1-0. As we said, they've beaten White Bear Lake 1-0 up in White Bear. Coon Rapids, meanwhile, comes in 0-2. They lost 4-1 to Chisago Lakes and 2-0 to St. Francis to start the season.
Yeah, a little bit of an uneven start for the Cardinals, and you know, Coach Karen says, you know, especially when you lose a player like Wynn, that's a lot of speed that's out of your lineup. But
again, Bone watches that one go out, but it'll be kept in nicely along the end line by the Cougars. Pass intercepted and cleared, but only as far as midfield. Nora Helvig. This is Bula. Back for Helwig, the center back, or Helvig rather. Drop back, Van Zee makes a move. Long shot from outside the box. That was always going wide. Not afraid to shoot, Addison Van Zee from distance.
No,
neither was she last year.
You get an opportunity to put things on net, maybe things will happen. That obviously not the shot that you wanted, because it cleared. It may have been 3 points in a football game.
Kendall Stadden.
Or an extra point.
Yeah, that's true. Blaine, of course, led by All-State, All-American candidate Kendall Stadden. So the Bengals, some talented youngsters and Kendall Stadden, so they are going to be a force in the section and in the conference, and they'll give that game with Centennial should be a good one on Wednesday. But Coon Rapids, the Cougars have to get past the Cardinals first. Lights starting to take full effect here at the complex. Offside the call there on Centennial. Jordan Metz, the goaltender. We'll talk about her, goalkeeper. We'll talk about her eventually, but she has not been involved so far.
She hasn't had any action at this point.
Marissa Frost drops it back for Bula, who splits the uprights as well. Again, not a bad idea.
No, I like the thought because she's trying to put it in that far corner, but
especially with the smaller, with the smaller goalie.
Yeah, she's not. She can do whatever she wants.
She does. Jordan Metz. As you see, Bula's effort closer than Van Zee's, but still well off the mark. There might be a lot of that this year for Jordan Metz.
Yeah.
Van Zee. Back to Bula. Bula again, and Bone makes the save.
You know, I'm sure she'd like to have the opportunity to make some saves, but it makes your job a lot easier when your team has possession the majority of the time.
Well, and to her credit, when she needed to come up big last year, she certainly did. Halatsis has it taken off her toes. Only as far as Wittenberg. Wittenberg's shot deflected right into the waiting arms of Bone. She came up huge in a couple of penalty kick situations in the section final, and then in the state quarterfinal. Section final, I believe they actually won fairly comfortably, but in the quarterfinal, they they won it on penalties to get to the semifinals. So she certainly came up big. And in fact, the semifinals, I believe they did as well. But you didn't come here for the Centennial playoff history.
No, but you're giving us all a history lesson.
So Jordan Metz.
It's 3 credits. I'm 3 credits shy, so maybe I can use this as get a credit out of it.
She's earned that sparkling goals against average and that reputation. A junior, she started since she was a freshman. Out of bounds on the far side. Coon Rapids in the black, Centennial in the red and white. So we are 15 minutes gone by here in the first half. It's been all Cougars so far, a bunch of speculative outside shots. And so far, Stella Bone is pitching a shutout. That runs out of play on the far side, or on the near side.
Yeah, she has opportunities to make some saves.
Madeline Skalicki with the sort of captain's armband. Good step out of the backfield. Gets it up ahead for Halatsis. Good turn. Chance here. Kalina Halatsis shoots it wide. Callista, rather. Senior striker. Getting those chances and working hard, clearly.
Yeah, the Cardinals just have to find a way to get it out of their end. They haven't been able to figure that out here yet.
Addie Van Zee charging through the middle. Van Zee on net. Van Zee around Bone, taps it in for the first goal of the game for Centennial.
Yeah, she did a nice job of just weaving around the defense of the Cardinals, and she made it look easy. Once she faked out Bone, it was an easy goal for her. They opened the scoring here at 23-43.
7 goals and 5 assists for Addie Van Zee last year, and once Stella Bone committed and Van Zee dribbled around her, it was as easy a goal as she'll get. Just skipped around her and tapped it in. Goal coming at 23-43. Addie Van Zee unassisted to make it 1-0 Cougars. Centennial now looking for more with Addison Wittenberg. Back to Van Zee in that central midfield role. Up for Halatsis, but she's offside. Missed the shot anyway, but
they move the ball so well at all levels.
Up.
All levels, they move the ball well.
Yeah, they sure do. And they just get it forward. They got that back 3, and it just does not spend much time. That midfield is always looking to attack. And so you also have the other team on their heels, as the captain for Coon Rapids, Sarah Force, takes the free kick. This is Van Zee. Again, dribbling through defenders, lays it off. Halatsis tried to time the run to stay onside. Instead, Izzy Sipe gets there first. Sipe shoves off a defender and slots it home for goal number 2. For Centennial.
Yeah, I guess she made that look she looked easy because Bone came out. She had that whole far side and she placed it perfectly. Sipe, just a sophomore, gets the second goal of the game here for Centennial. Look at far side, right in the corner. Right in the corner pocket.
And where that was won, if we watched more of the replay, you'd see she won the 50-50 ball before it got to the end line. Halatsis held her run so she wouldn't be offside.
Right.
Sipe got there down the right wing, and so just smart team soccer. And it's 2-0 Centennial. Little give and go as Van Zee lays it off for Halatsis, who stays onside with her run. Halatsis goes for goal off the underside of the crossbar and in. Boy, it's 3-0 Cougars. It's 3 goals in less than 3 minutes.
Again, making easy work. Just a perfectly placed shot by Halatsis. As you're going to see again, she's coming from that wing and she put it underneath the goal. But again, just great placement up over Bone. And you talked about Bone not being the tallest of goalkeepers, and that one she's able to jump up, but definitely not able to get a hand on it. All of a sudden, it's 3-0 here early, about almost halfway through anyway in this first half.
When I said 3 goals in 3 minutes, I meant 3 goals in 1:45.
That's even more impressive.
So Centennial, the Cougar wave, after kind of banging on the door, they've knocked it down. 3 goals at 23-43, 22-19, and 21-58. Now John Caron's just trying to settle his team down.
Well, that's the thing is that, all of a sudden you're down 3-0 and you start playing from behind.
Race, take it. Race.
Inside 21 minutes to play. As there's a free kick in a dangerous spot now for the Cardinals. Jordan Metz down to a knee to collect.
Got to save.
Got to save.
Her first one. A relatively easy one for her. Just had to sit in front of the ball.
Got through traffic and made it on net. Up for Halatsis. Middle, just out of the reach of Van Zee, but she tracks it down with a head of steam. Can't split defenders, though. Well defended by the Cardinals.
Penalty on Coon Rapids.
Addie Van Zee, Izzy Sipe, and Callista Halatsis. And there was, you talk about nothing a goaltender could do. Even a tall goaltender could, or goalkeeper, I should say, could not have made that stop.
She placed that perfectly.
4 subs set to enter for Centennial and a couple for Coon Rapids. Brooke Griffith and Tessa Del Forte wearing matching shoes set to enter for the Cardinals. We're getting to about that time where we're midway through the first half. And Centennial now with a comfortable 3-goal lead. Great job by Sipe to keep it in play on the far side. Izzy Sipe splitting defenders on her left foot. Beats Bone into the left corner. Unbelievable.
Well, she gets the loft that she had on her shot. It was just perfect. Bone not able to do anything about it, and it just goes up and over her.
Second goal of the game for Isabella Sipe, who just split defenders and just popped a left-footed shot over a leaping Stella Bone and into that far right corner. And Centennial clears their bench, puts all 4 subs in as some of the starters have take a well-earned break. Van Zee, Halatsis, Wittenberg, and Bula. It's 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 really quickly. I mean, there's still just about 19 minutes left in this opening half, and all of a sudden Coon Rapids stares at the being 4 goals down. They've got an amazing uphill climb.
4-0 Cougars. 4 goals, I should say, in just about 4 minutes. Another chance here now, though, for Coon Rapids.
They need opportunities.
Grace Stevenson had 5 goals and 2 assists last year. We'll take it. Stevenson, it was always going wide, but Metz decided to grab it anyway. 4-0 Cougars. Can't really have running clock in soccer because it's always running anyway.
Yeah, the clock pretty much runs all the time.
Good hustle in the midfield. Stolen back by number 12, Marissa Frost.
Yeah, and the big thing for Coon Rapids is they just have to keep their heads up and continue to play strong and not get down, being down 4 goals.
Sophie Backery fighting right at midfield, and she earns a free kick. Yep, got to keep your heads up and continue to play. Obviously, they knew it would be a tall task coming into this game against the Cougars, but
I'm not sure they thought they'd be down 4-0 at this point in the game, but nonetheless, give Centennial a lot of credit. They're just controlling this contest.
And they're just not afraid to shoot.
No.
And test the goalkeeper. And as
they've been testing her.
Talented as Stella Bone is, I mean, it's just some of those shots are unsavable. There's a shot that's blocked down from Coon Rapids out to the Centennial midfield. Play on the near side for Bolanos. Good step by Napodi. Switched by Gabriella Sipe, whose sister has 2 of the 4 Centennial goals today. Skalicki. Plays it back for Napodi. And that's too hard for Marissa Frost. And if I know Krista Carlson, she'll continue to find things to sharpen, right?
Yeah, to work on. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, lovely bit of skill there from Sophie Backery. But again, Centennial pressing forward. Coon Rapids has settled into the game a little bit. But just that 4-minute spell from 23 to 19, 4 goals, that has gotten us where we stand right now, as we're inside of 16 minutes to play.
Even when the Cardinals get down into the Cougar end, it doesn't really last long, because defensively they do a really good job of taking the ball away and then just continuously moving it upfield.
Sophia Daigle earns a throw-in for Centennial. Presley Napodi. Wide for Isabella Sipe on a hat trick. Sipe lays it off for her sister Gabriella. Turns and fires, and Bone makes the catch. Will we get a sister-to-sister combination?
That'd be fun to see.
They're certainly playing near enough to each other, with a couple strikers up front and in that sort of offensive midfielder role. This is number 15, Ruby Reisdorfer. Wide for Caitlin Hamsky, whose sister Allie was one of the stars of the Centennial program the last couple years. No state tournament, obviously, in 2020, but they won the state title in 2016 and finished runner-up in 2019 and 2021.
That's the sign of a really good program.
No question. Tough losses, 2-1 to Maple Grove in 2019 and 1-0 to Stillwater last year, a team they had defeated in the regular season. Battle for it in the midfield. Nifty footwork by Gabriella Sipe, and she joins her sister on the score sheet. It's 5-0 Cougars. Gabriella Sipe, just some nifty footwork, and then lasered it past Bone. Nothing Stella could do about it, and now Isabella has 2 and Gabriella has 1.
Yeah, and again, that lofting shot up and over Bone, and I don't know if they're realizing the fact that she isn't the tallest of goalkeepers. And again, just perfectly lofted into the back corner of the net.
No question about it. What you might call a Sipe snipe.
A Sipe snipe.
From distance.
I'm going to give a shout out to my broadcast partner, Joe Yun, who's recuperating from a day at the fair. 15 corn dogs, he said he had.
You would need to recuperate after that.
I'd have to take a long nap, a couple about 8 hours.
Caitlin Breck, shot from distance, saved by Sipe, or by Bone. Got the Sipes sisters on the
Yeah.
brain. Centennial continues to play some nice football, just one-touch passing, controlling possession as it's off Napote and out of bounds.
And you see the time remaining, about 12 and a half minutes in this first half, and a very large lead for the Cougars from Centennial.
Ray Stevenson manages to get it down line, but again, Skalicki is there, and much like the boys team for Centennial, you got experience and captains on the back line, and that just feels like Skalicki is always there to clean up any trouble that Centennial might find itself in. Makes herself available for a pass here. Near side. Daigle. Back for Skalicki. Now Centennial just patiently playing triangles, working it around with a 5-goal lead. 5 goals in 10 minutes.
That's
breaking this game wide open.
That's an impressive stat there.
Gabriella Sight for Sophia Daigle. Collision. Play on, says the ref. Well, that never feels good. Whenever you have a clash of feet, it does appear like it is a foul.
Isn't that a rock band from the 80s? Clash of
Feet.
Clash of Feet.
Yeah, they were sister bands with Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah, I thought so. In fact, I thought one of the members left Flock of Seagulls to go to that band.
That's right.
Clash of Feet. I think they had a hit.
Skalicki facing a 3-player wall. She'll go for goal, or at least try to give her teammates a chance. And Bone, you really have to be strong when you've got attackers on rushing.
Yeah, you got to make sure you bring that ball, and that could have been dangerous there as well, but she was able to bring it in.
Out of bounds on the far side to throw in for Centennial. Nearing the 10-minute mark in the first half, 5-0 Cougars. Cardinals trail it in a big way against a perennial powerhouse, as good as any program in the state of Minnesota right now. Up with the likes of Edina and Orono, Matamidi, some others that are annual state contenders. Stillwater, well defended there and taken away as Kaylin Green gets in. And again, Skalicki there to collect the danger and get the ball forward. Sight making a run on the far side, and it's swept away by Brooke Griffith, the senior midfielder. Good chance for Krista Carlson. Obviously, she's taking it to get some of her subs some regular minutes and get them that valuable experience. Gabriella Sight taken away nicely by Griffith. Stolen back by Centennial. Dropped off for Sophie Daigle. And Daigle finds it, sees it run out of play on the near side. John Caron does a good job with this program, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
There's a shot, and Bone makes the save. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he definitely does, and he's been doing a good job with this program for a number of years, and I think the girls love to play for him. I think he's a really good coach.
Stolen away, ball into the channel. A little give and go with Stevenson and Del Forte. Again, the Centennial pinging it about. Velasco trying to keep it away from Daigle. inside of 8 minutes. Shots on goal 7-1 in favor of the Cougars.
When you look at that, 7 shots and 5 goals, that's incredible.
Shots, pretty good percentage, 5 goals on 7 shots.
I would think so. If you could average that, you'd be the #1 team in the state.
Selena Cardenas Lazos into the game. So look at Ruby Reisdorfer, junior midfielder. Takes out number 5 Bailey Rue, sophomore midfielder. Gosh, it is just settled into a lovely evening. The wind has died down. It's in the upper 60s. This night is falling here in Coon Rapids.
It's beautiful.
Tipped wide by Isabella Sipe.
They just redid the track here at the complex.
Looks
within
great.
the last week.
Cardinals painted
Yep.
right at midfield.
They have a likeness of Joe Yund in the far corner.
That's right. A statue.
I haven't seen mine.
You two guys.
I don't know.
Eating corn dogs.
Yeah. Of course, Joe
no,
may
that's
never
just,
have another
that's
one.
just Joe.
After 15, Joe may never have another one.
Yeah, now were they Pronto Pups or corn dogs? Because that's an important distinction.
I think
Sipe goes from distance and gets another one.
Again,
it's a hat trick for Izzy Sipe.
They've perfected that lofting shot to the back of the net. Makes it 6-0.
Isabella Sipe, a hat trick. As you see her, she just cuts in, and then that wand of a left foot able to just sky it over Stella Bone.
When you look at the difference in height between her and Metz,
yeah, it's night and day. She's got half their goals, Izzy Sipe. Her sister's got another. And they've got 6 here in this first half.
The Sipes are celebrating here so far.
Charging forward, Brooke Griffith. Taken back by Centennial. Izzy Sipe. Toe pokes it forward. Only as far as Sarah Force, the senior midfield captain for Coon Rapids. 5:20 to go in the first half. All Centennial here, as Jordan Metz just probably happy to touch the ball. You don't see, at the high school level, you don't see that many teams play through the keeper. Not nearly as much as you do at the pro level. Probably because it's not as much of a possession-based game, but certainly some of the better teams try to possess. And that's one way to do it, to go all the way back through your defense, including to your keeper. Well played by Force. Some might say she's a force to be reckoned with.
Bada boom. Joe did have, he said, he's giving us a food update. He said he did have a tater dog on it. He said he had a tater dog, and he had an alligator on a stick.
Oh, man.
It had bite to it, though, he said.
Tastes like chicken?
I don't know if it tastes like chicken. I've not had alligator.
The better question is he watching, and am I doing a capable job filling in?
He says you're doing an admirable job, no question.
4 minutes to go here in the first half. 6-0 Centennial. Lumped forward, but out of the reach of any run. They got to get some runners going, Coon Rapids does. Cougars content to possess the ball and play out through the back.
at this point, when you're Coach Karen, what do you say to your girls at the break?
You know, it's funny. I literally was just thinking that, Howie. I was going to ask you, what does Coach Karen say to his troops at the break? Like, what?
I think you got to just look at it and say, let's
just have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun. Let's go. This game 0-0. Let's see what we can do. Play a good second half of soccer. Joe said the gator on a stick was kind of a spicy bratwurst.
I see.
He said it was just okay.
Gator bratwurst.
Yeah. It had a tooth in it, though. He said it's like.
Oh man. I would have said later to that gator.
Yeah, really.
Daigle.
So I was right, though. It did have a bite to it. He said it was spicy.
I would have accepted that joke regardless of how true it was. Nice footwork by Isabella Sipe to her sister Gabriella. Wittenberg finds her shot going wide. I would say Centennial, I mean, they didn't have their shooting boots on early. They were a little high on some of them. But once they found their touch on the range shots, then that made for a long game, long half anyway for Stella Bone. Griffith takes the goal kick and it goes out of play on the far side. Cougars continuing to pop the ball around. Daigle. Hounded by Velasco. Back for Napodi. Square for Reisdorfer. Oh, well read by Coon Rapids. Oh, the familiar tones of the metronome going on in the background as the band gets their practice in.
Well, you know, they've got to get some practice in to make sure that they get their proper performance.
No question. I mean, how right you are, Howie.
How right I am.
Skalicki with 40 seconds to go. Daigle.
Remember years ago, Joe and I tried to get the band to add a cowbell, and I think they did after a while.
Yeah, once that SNL skit came out.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to.
20 seconds to go. Stella Bone needs some Gatorade or some fluids after the half she's had.
To her credit, she's just a freshman.
She doesn't seem down. She seems like she's still fighting. Credit to her, as no easy opponent.
No.
Time expires here in the first half. A half dominated by Centennial. Isabella Sipe, a hat trick. They score 4 times in 4 minutes, and at the break, Coon Rapids trails Centennial 6-0. We'll be back with highlights and second half action in a moment. CTN Coon Rapids 6-0. Cardinals trail it after 1.
As you know, CTN's on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
Back here at the Cardinal Athletic Complex, Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro. 6-0 Cardinals trail the Cougars, and they held them at bay for a little while, but then once the goals started flowing, that was it. You see the hustle from Isabella Sipe. Nudges off their defender, good strength, and then slots it past goalie Stella Bone, who played admirably, the freshman, but ultimately goals like that, just you're not going to be stopping that no matter who you are. And Isabella Sipe would ultimately record 3 goals, and her sister Gabriella, her twin sister, would add a 4th. All part of the 6-goal onslaught in that first half for Centennial.
It really was an onslaught, and they did a really nice job of the lofting goals, of using Bones, maybe not her height. She doesn't have a height advantage, obviously, over another maybe taller goalkeeper, and they did a really good job of just placing that up and over her. And
I mean, I'm 6 feet. I'm not sure I would have stopped those.
Right.
You know, where some of those were
all,
placed.
all depends on your vertical lift.
Only if you dangle a meatball above me do I have vertical lift.
Just hold up a meatball on a stick, and I got it.
Say, is that German chocolate cake?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, he just dunked a piece of cake.
Piece of cake. I see what you did.
Yeah.
There. Oh, I've missed you, Howie.
Thank you. Thank you. I've missed you as well.
So, Bailey Rue, one of several sophomores on this team. Anna Langworthy, a junior, out to start the second half. Cardinals will be moving right to left on your screen. There will be new goaltenders in both cases. For Centennial. Gabriella Cochran, the senior, will be in net. And for Coon Rapids, Kari Reiners will in net, as you see Gabriella was warming up, and Coon Rapids hoping to test her a little more than they did Jordan Metz in that first half. So you see Stella Bone talking to the coaching staff. And again, many of those goals, almost all of them, not in any way her fault. So
it's just perfect placement by the Cougars. I mean, perfect.
Shooting accuracy. The starters back out for both teams, apart from the goaltenders, as we get going in the second half. Hoping to avoid the rain as some clouds have settled in here in Coon Rapids. Addison Van Zee back for Bula. Nazi Bula leaves it for her teammate. Drop back for Van Zee, and now we'll see with a 6-0 lead how aggressive or whatnot Centennial chooses to be. There's a shot that tests Reiners, and the senior makes the save. We're not sure if it's senior night or what here, but there were introductions of all the seniors, all the players really.
It was parents.
We think it's parents' night.
Yep.
Nobody told us, but we think it's parents' night. So at halftime, all of the parents and their respective players were introduced, which was a nice touch. And another positive for Coach Karen. Then he didn't have to worry about what he would say to his team at halftime. Did have some words of wisdom for them, and I expect to see them come out on the front foot.
Yeah,
early going.
Well, at this point, they want to at least get some opportunities to get some goals here. They've just one goal in 2 games so far. Now just one goal in almost 3. Minus 2.5 games.
Yeah, where are the goals going to come from?
That's the thing.
Very often the trouble with teams that can lock down defensively, but then you just wonder where they're going to get their scoring. Sometimes they can possess and play some really nice soccer, but not have that finishing touch in the final third. Nasi Bula for Addie Van Zee. Had a goal and kind of just bossed the midfield, as they say, in the first half before sitting out really the final 15 minutes. This is Bula. Sipe on a hat trick. Nice footwork there by number 11, Caitlin Hamsky. Intercepted well by Bailey Rue. And I'm not sure what Coach Carlson was saying to her charges at halftime, but certainly was doing some coaching and instructing. Certainly, I think when you're Centennial or a program like Centennial, you just want to play up to your standard.
You do.
No matter who the opponent is. And so very often coaches will say, well, it's not about us. It's not about them. It's if we play our game, that's what we're concerned about, because we feel like the rest will take care of itself. Just majoring in soccer cliches right now.
Class is in session.
That one booted out of bounds on the far side. In case you just joined us, the Cardinal boys fell in a tough one, 1-0 to Centennial. Second straight 1-0 defeat to the Cougars suffered by the Cardinals dating back to last season. But certainly some promising debuts for some of their sophomores and freshmen, some of their youngsters, and feel like they'll be a team that'll have pick up some W's this year.
Yeah, again,
Centennial's solid program.
Just their first game.
First game of the season, so it's always some rust to knock off for them. Sarah Force, the senior midfield captain, returns for Coon Rapids. Van Zee to Bula. Nasi Bula looks like a much more confident and assured player than she did last year, playing in that sort of defensive midfielder role, sitting in front of the back line. Oh, nearly had.
Yeah.
And the first shot on goal nearly had Sophie Bakri in on goal, but instead the shot fired over by Force, wearing a knee brace on that left knee. Some geese have joined the festivities. Good pressing by Coon Rapids, including Bakri. Centennial able to pass around it, out of the reach of Force.
Yeah,
right into the path of Caitlin Brecky.
That was just Coon Rapids' version of Skycam. There was a GoPro on one of the geese as they flew over the stadium.
That's right. That's right.
Neil Hennon arranged that.
Well, you can't afford a blimp necessarily,
No,
but you can afford geese.
Yeah.
Kari Reinar's nice job coming off her line to sweep that one away. Addie Van Zee turns inside. Van Zee on her right foot. Plays it square. Hamsky thunders one across, and Reinar's just out of the reach of Wittenberg. Addison Wittenberg couldn't quite get it controlled, so
yeah.
Reiners comes out.
I mean, it was really a nice pass. She just couldn't settle it.
Yep, it was a great ball. Krista Carlson continues to coach in her second season, leading this Centennial Cougars program. As we said, she's director of Cardinals SC, or Centennial SC, I should say, the club program.
Yep.
So she's certainly familiar with the young talent coming up through the ranks. And she's got them playing, obviously, the system that she wants. So that always helps. Well played by Breck. Across, and the left-footed shot thundered over by Wittenberg. Caitlin Hamsky, or I beg your pardon, Callista Alatsis continues to be heavily involved for this Cougars attack.
Now that shot went across into the lacrosse net. Do you get any kind of credit for that? Right in the net.
Oh, a quarter point.
You get a half a goal?
That's got to be a quarter point, as you see that.
What's this? It's got to be something.
Over.
Maybe she was trying for that.
On a couple bounces, but yeah,
hey,
it's settled
right in the back.
Yep. It's the small victories. Bula's shot hits a teammate out front. Van Zee tracking back, and a foul called. First foul we've had here in the second half. It played more than 8 minutes. Have to imagine the starters will be subbed out again after another
I would think
10,
so.
15 minutes maybe.
You know, especially with that, you know, get all your players in a game like this for Centennial, because you're up 6-0, and
Bakary steals it, does a nice job taking it away. Lumped forward. Bula. Sipe. Halatsis. Trying to time their runs as Halatsis goes back for Bula. Bula. Splits defenders. Now a chance for Coon Rapids. Bakary shouldered off the ball, but good strength to avoid the tackle of Sipe off of Halatsis and out of play on the far side. What encouraging signs have you seen from this Coon Rapids team so far?
Well, you know,
Howie?
when you're down 6-0, obviously you don't want the girls to have that feeling of giving up, and I don't see that. They're still hustling. They're still trying to play their game and work their offense and play solid defense. But I think a goal or two would be really beneficial if they could possibly get it. But you know, you're down 6-0 with basically 30 minutes remaining in the contest. It's very difficult to come back in a situation like that.
Rue earns the foul. So it'll be a free kick taken from about 35 yards out. Low driven in. And just ahead of an onrushing Cardinal. Cochran able to scoop it up. Not a bad idea though, low below the wall.
Yep.
And you just hope you get a friendly bounce somewhere and someone's there to knock it in.
I know it would mean a lot to them if they were able to score. I mean, I don't know that they have the kind of firepower that can come back from a 6-0 deficit.
Few teams do.
Yeah.
Throw in out of bounds on the far side, but first substitutions. There's Gabriella Sipe, and we don't have a number 19 for Coon Rapids. Takes out the captain, Skalicki. Certainly done her job tonight, helping pitch a shutout as Bula. Again, calm in the midfield. Great pass for Halatsis to run onto. Halatsis forced back. Drops it for Van Zee. Addie Van Zee dances around defenders. And she'll just calmly play it back to Hamsky. Down line for Gabriella Sipe. There's a shot from distance, and it's pulled wide. Addison Wittenberg couldn't get on the score sheet. See Krista Carlson continuing to coach inside of 29 minutes to go in the game. As we said, Centennial will be next up at home against Blaine in a cat clash you can see on North Metro TV.
With the one and only Bill Hupp.
Yes. Didn't want to toot my own horn. I'm not
doing it
one
for you.
Self-promotion.
I'm doing it for you.
If you're going to do it for me.
I'm happy to.
Squared for Halatsis. Good cross, wide. Sipe is there, rather. She gets the pass. Well defended by Coon Rapids. Sipe recovers for Bula.
They do a really nice job of moving the ball around.
They sure do. Addison Van Zee dribbling away from pressure. Meanwhile, it doesn't get any easier for Coon Rapids. They visit Andover on Wednesday at 5. There's a shot from distance, and there's just no stopping that.
No.
Unbelievable in the upper top corner. And Centennial's made it 7.
Yeah, they certainly made it look easy. And again, the same type of goal that you've been seeing all game for Centennial. A little bit of a loft, and again, not much the goaltender can do about it. It finds the back corner of the net.
Continues to be the Sipe show. Gabriella Sipe with 2 goals now to match her, not match, but her sister's 3.
Five of the 7 goals by the Sipe family.
By the Sipe twins.
Yep.
Halatsis turns. I mean, that was just, you just looked up. That was a beautiful shot from the edge of the box, and absolutely nothing that Reiners could do about it. Centennial leads at 7-0. Nice turn in the corner to get free. Still going. There's a shot. Reiners handles that one, and that's, with all due respect to Stella Bone, not sure she would have made that save just because she's small.
Right. There's a little there was some pepper on it.
That had some real pepper on it, but Reiners, senior, was able to make the save, well positioned, and she stopped it.
She put the hot sauce on that one.
Yeah, little mustard right there.
Little mustard.
Fill in your condiment of choice, and Reiners actually caught it over her head.
I know. I'm sure she relished the goal, but.
It was like sriracha. Ah, that hurt my hands. That
stung a little.
Yeah, stung. Force. Battling, and it's taken away by Wittenberg. Addie Wittenberg goes wide. Beautiful move by Halatsis to go down line. Cross cut out, and Force sweeps it out on the near side. Dago will throw. So yeah, Andover's got a pretty strong program. They were section finalists, lost to this Centennial team last year. So Huskies returning some players. Always tough to go on the road in conference play as well. Addie Van Zee dancing around defenders, and she'll just go wide again for Hamsky. Nice little team play as Hamsky gives it back to Sipe. We'll say Centennials, I mean, they're passing it around and they're possessing, but they're not exactly on the attack. Ula takes a shot there just as I say that, but I think they're doing a nice job of just trying to possess, playing, clean soccer, and if they get a good chance, they'll take it. But otherwise,
and they know they're gonna get this win, obviously. So again, they're just working on working on skills like that.
Hannah Langworthy subs out. Griffith. Up ahead, falls right to Sipe. Gabriella Sipe. Wittenberg. Unlucky bounce right back to Wittenberg. She cuts back in on her left. Addison Wittenberg off the crossbar, tipped up by Reinars.
Yeah.
She made that save, deflecting it up onto the crossbar. We'll see it again here. A nice move to get free, and then tipped up onto the crossbar by Reinars.
Yeah, she timed that well.
See Addison Wittenberg. Played some varsity last year, 2 goals and an assist. Just a sophomore, as Nasibula will stand over this one. 4-person wall in front. Bula goes for goal, and Reiners again at full stretch makes the save. So again, I just think having a slightly bigger in stature goalkeeper has helped Coon Rapids in the second half, because some of those long-range efforts she was able to save. So, and she's done a nice job in this second half. Good that she's getting to play on Parents' Night. If you have two similar goalkeepers, I'm always a fan of splitting, sharing halves. Now here's a hustle chance in the corner. We'll see if they give a foul here. Certainly the bench wanted it, as Caitlin Brecky kind of shoulder charged Kaylin Green, or at least kind of shoved her aside. As you see there, could have been a foul, and it is. In fact, it's a corner.
Opportunity here for the Cardinals if they can try and put one in the back of the net. But Centennial does a nice job of clearing it out.
Yep, Cougars able to clear, and now they'll push up and try to keep the Cardinals at bay. Force battling with Bula. Just seems to be two white jerseys for every Cardinal that touches the ball. Now down line for the speedy Gabriella Sipe. She's got 2 goals today, trying to join her sister with hat tricks. Eventually swept out of bounds as we're nearing the midway point of the second half. Centennial with 6 goals in the first half, 1 here in the second, and they lead at 7-0.
Yeah, to say that they've controlled this one is an understatement.
I mean, it's a tall task to replace 10 seniors that were as talented and prolific and impactful as the seniors that Centennial lost, but if a program can do it, it's one like the Cougars.
I agree.
Addie Van Zee, one of those players who will look to lead the way. We'll take a corner here for Centennial. Outswinging right-footed corner. Loose, Bula. Blocked, couple shots. That one's underneath the underside of the bar, off the goaltender and in for the 8th goal of the game for Centennial. And that is number 19, Nora Helvig, the sophomore, who just ended up lasering that one in. And that's we've seen a lot of unique goals today, but that's one of the more unique ones. You see the underside of the bar, off the ground, and
back into the net.
Reiner's just a shade late getting to it. So Helvig with a little fortune, but you make your own breaks, they say.
Absolutely.
Centennial's got an 8-0 lead now, 8-0. Addie Van Zee. Van Zee lofts it looking for Daigle, who's now playing up front. Reiners is out to collect. They say you get better playing better teams, and
well, this is true.
Centennial is the class of the conference for a reason. Them and Maple Grove, year in and year out. In fact, we talked about the state championship. Well, that's, you look at the, what did we say? They were 90, 12, and 5.
Yeah.
And a couple of those losses, including one last year, were to Maple Grove.
Right.
So this is Maple Grove not in the section any longer with Centennial, but
I'm sure Centennial's glad about that.
Yeah, but those two teams always battled. In fact, I think Maple Grove had beaten them twice in the regular season, even though Centennial has made the 2 last state championship games that have been played, and obviously losing to the Crimson 2-1 in the state final in 2019. So always fun when those two schools get together and renew their rivalry. But again, you look at the depth of talent. I mean, it's like this for every sport, but the Northwest Suburban Conference is just
stacked.
Brutal, yeah.
It really
it's just
is
stacked.
But you know, you look at the fact that they lost all those players and they come back and rebuild.
Reiners falls on that effort, but yeah, no, it's a testament to the program that they've built and that Krista Carlson is continuing to foster. But Centennial and Blaine and Maple Grove and then you always have the likes of, Champlain Park and Elk River and Andover and certain schools.
A lot of good programs.
Yeah, a lot of good programs. Don't want to leave anyone out. You just hope that if you're Coon Rapids, you just hope it prepares you for section play, because at the end of the day, that's what everyone's playing for.
And hopefully there's a lot of learning lessons taken out of this contest for the Cardinals. And, you can look at a team like Centennial and say, that's what we want to do. Another goal.
Another goal indeed, and this time it's Addie Wittenberg getting her first of the season. The sophomore gets on the score sheet to make it 9-0. It's like a Liverpool Bournemouth game, 9-0.
So I guess there is running time because it's clock's continuing to run even though there was a goal scored.
Breaks and stoppages, and I have to imagine within the last 5 minutes there won't be many stoppages.
No.
As well, we talked to the scorekeeper at half. Look at the speed by Breck. She was on a fast Breck.
She didn't get what she wanted on her shot, but again, you could see the speed on this team.
Just
they've got a number of players.
Yeah, the fresh legs and the pace to kind of push the ball up and carry it as you do. Inside of 16 minutes left. Running time, obviously, here. Love to see the Cardinals get one, if only for confidence sake, and
I
start to rev their offense up.
They need it. They need something like that.
Into the channel, and the offside flag is up on the near side. It's one of those nights when the best, the thing you try to highlight as a plus is the weather. One of those things.
Beautiful night here.
Gorgeous night, yeah. Beautiful night indeed as Selena Cardenas Lazos gets set to return along with Bolanos. Cardinals continuing to hustle. Daigle through the midfield, and now this game's really opened up. Through ball a little heavy, and Reiners reads it well.
So apparently the refs told our PA announcer they were not stopping the clock in the second half, even for goals.
Okay, so we are in running time as Bula nudged off by force. By the use of force by force. So the clock continues to roll here, 14 minutes and counting.
So thank you, Tommy Glines, for that information.
Yes. You almost, in this kind of situation, you just kind of work on things, right?
Yeah, we're lucky. We have some fantastic PA announcers here at Coon Rapids. Of course, Tommy Glines and Mike Dupont, and of course Adam Tronson. We're fortunate in that respect. They're great guys and great at what they do.
Yep, very helpful and very supportive of our efforts as well, bringing you Coon Rapids athletics. Daigle, swarmed by a host of Cardinals. Miss hit on the clearance and big collision, and hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, you could hear that collision.
Yeah,
from up here.
Always concerned about head injuries.
Yep.
Fortunately, Isabel Allen seems to be okay.
Which is always the main thing.
Yes, absolutely. I was about to say no question
No
about
question
it,
you were.
but,
I know it.
But you know, we need a dictionary. There are other ways
I know.
there are other ways to agree.
Absolutely. We're off the rails.
Without a doubt.
I don't know if you've met Jeremy Smith. So Jeremy
yes.
Smith and I were doing a game, and we had.
I have met Jeremy Smith.
Yeah, we counted the times. One time that we said no question, and
it was 2 dozen.
No, it was 40 sometimes. But I think we were milking it.
Okay, because you were aware.
Because we were aware.
Bula from distance flashes wide. Yeah, I certainly go back and like, boy, I said that one thing a lot.
Yeah, I know. I do that as
or
well.
whatever it is.
Indeed's
You get
a good
like
one.
a little brain worm, and then it's just
then you
like,
can't zap.
It's like you've got a soundtrack on repeat.
So I said to during tonight, I was saying to Neil Henn, how many times have I said absolutely? And he said a lot.
I mean, it's a good word.
It is a good word. I like it.
It's kind of a lull that has settled in around the ground here. Beautiful track, as you said, was just laid this week.
Yep.
To support the beautiful field. Just wish the score was a little better for the Cardinals.
And I'm sure they do as well. I mean, again, you talked about just to get on the board here would be big.
Yeah, even a confidence boost. Reiner's out again, and I like her instinct.
Yeah.
She's known when to come out and play the ball and be aggressive, and she's also made several saves that required her to use her athletic ability. And Centennial, in case you just joined us, struck for 6 in the first half, 4 in about a 4-minute span midway through the half, and it basically ended this one early.
Yep, 3 here in the second.
Isabella Sipe with a hat trick in the first half, and her sister Gabriella Sipe, twin sister, pair of sophomores with 5 goals apiece. Gabriella with 2 and Isabella with 3.
That's a very fine evening.
So if it was like a cheesy New York Post headline, it might be like Sipe right or something like that. They always like the
Sipe
puns.
right, Sipe left.
Yeah. Sipe down the middle.
Yeah.
Sipe goal. Into the channel for Brecky to run onto. Yeah, both coaches, I feel like, just looking for positives to highlight, passages of play, even just the right idea, because that'll pay off at some point in the season if the girls continue to play like that. You just want them to play the right way. As Sophie Daigle continues to hustle, the junior midfielder. She put in a shift. We'll always have that 20-0 Maple Grove Centennial boys hockey playoff game.
That's crazy.
Bula. In the middle, again, tight turnaround with some of these games. I mean, both these teams will be back in action on Wednesday night. Coon Rapids on the road to Andover, and Centennial at home hosting Blaine.
Offsides called on Centennial. Colonels want to welcome Red to the game. The volleyball must be over inside, right, Red? Red is the #1 fan of Cardinal athletics.
Volleyball broadcast coming up, Howie?
I believe next week.
Okay, we'll have the upcoming broadcast schedule
no,
for
the
you.
12th, I think it is, the first volleyball
Shortly?
contest.
Volleyball is fun to call.
I enjoy volleyball.
Haven't had too much experience doing it, but it's enjoyable.
Substitution for the Colonels.
Nasibula has done some pretty good effort tonight for Centennial. She has settled in, and now she's kind of in that starter's role as she and Addie Van Zee have really kind of bossed the midfield. Bula has been more of a defensive midfielder in this system, whereas Van Zee is
Or the offensive one.
yeah, kind of stirring the drink. She's got a goal tonight. Bula, I don't think does, but she has been impactful nonetheless. 6 minutes and change to go. After visiting Andover next Tuesday, Centennial or Coon Rapids, I should say, will be hosting Park Center. And then they got a 3-game road trip at Mounds View, at Anoka, and at Blaine. So a tough 3-game stretch there. So after this game against Centennial, 3 or 4 of their next 5 games on the road. And it'll certainly help to get their key kids back from injury. It was always going to be tough replacing some of the talent they lost to the college ranks last year, but doesn't help when you've got 2 senior starters, like you said, on the bench.
By all means. Oh, that one hit the
over
the
and
top.
It hit the top of the. Should have been ruled out, I believe, but that was an effort by Sophie Daigle that clanged off the top of the crossbar. Again, Lucy Wynn, one of the captains, and Emily Snicker, as Bula takes a long-range effort. Both of those kids out for tonight with leg injuries, so certainly be good to get those kids back for Coach Karen.
Amen.
Brecky's shot, palm to the side. Nice job diving to her right by the goaltender Reiners. Pushes it out for a corner, and Centennial continues to press up 9-0.
Yeah, you know, they really, granted, they've had 3 goals this half, but they've really still controlled the action down in the Cardinal end.
Yeah, they're continuing to just do their thing, play football, and Reiners comes out and snags it. And yeah, it's a dangerous thing to kind of get into, telling kids to ease off the gas pedal.
Right.
Maybe you make them pass it 10, 15 times before they can shoot or something, but there are ways to do it. Driving to the byline. Oh, beautiful switch, lefty cross for Brecky, and cleared out of play. Not sure if Bolanos meant to do that, but she did clear the danger. And it's another corner for Centennial, who I don't think Cougars have scored off a corner tonight, from my recollection. Foul in the box.
Yep. So that gives turns the ball over to the Cardinals.
What do you think the potential is, Howie, for this Centennial Cougars team? They look pretty impressive tonight.
They do, and they've got a number of young ladies who score well, and they've got good defenders. They play solid defense, and goaltenders really haven't been tested here tonight. So, I think they're, going down the stretch, they're going to be one of the better teams in the state.
I have to imagine they'll be right there or thereabouts as they compete for 6th consecutive section title and another trip to the state tournament. And it's a program that, once you start going on an annual basis, you learn how to win.
Correct.
You understand how to deal with the preparation and the nerves of being there. And that's when you become that kind of perennial powerhouse that's a dangerous team.
Absolutely a dangerous team.
No question. Halatsis. Nifty footwork. What moves? Cross for Brecky. Cleared, and another foul in the box as we're nearing the 2-minute mark left to go in the game.
Well, as you mentioned, the Cardinals are going to have to regroup because they don't have an easy one coming up. And you take your, Coach Karen said, we're going to take our lumps because this is such a great conference, and you can see it here tonight. They're taking their lumps a little bit. And so these are the kind of things that you try and work out as the season progresses.
Daigle has her pass intercepted.
Good, Grace. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Nicely played by Grace Stevenson. You can hear Coach complimenting. Oh, and that, again, just the difference. One defender to beat. Now, potential chance for Coon Rapids.
Well, the defender makes a play on the ball.
But again, Sipe, who has moved back into that fullback role. That's the other thing, is you can kind of move your players around and just get them comfortable in a number of different positions. Minute left. Bula. Now see Bula from distance, and Reiners will usher that one out of play. Like a host leading a diner to the table.
Makes me think I'm hungry.
Reminds me, I haven't had dinner yet.
I haven't.
50 seconds left to play here. Daigle
Again.
adds insult to injury here with 37 seconds left to make it 10-0 Centennial.
Yeah, it's
And that's just, again, unsavable. Just a quick turn in the box, and Sophia Daigle.
Well, and they place those goals so well. I mean, look at it. It's just going to arch over the top.
Yeah.
Reinhardt's and she find the back of the net.
Reiners was there, but you basically needed to be, 6 foot and able to jump to knock that one down. Centennial dominates from start to finish, and they cap it off with their 10th goal with just 36 seconds left to play.
Yeah, a tough loss for the Cardinals, the Lady Cardinals, 10-0 final, and you've got a lot to work on if you're Coon Rapids. You've got some opportunities. We saw some good moments. We saw some nice things that they did, but you're playing a team the caliber of Centennial. You're gonna be in for a long evening typically.
No question about it, and it certainly was that. Centennial powered by a hat trick from Izzy Sipe and 2 goals from her twin sister Gabriella. 5 of the 10 goals scored by the Sipes twins. And they lead Centennial to a 10-0 victory over the Cardinals. Show you what's coming up next on CTN Coon Rapids. We're coming up sports coverage, girls and boys soccer next Tuesday right here at home on Tuesday, September 6th. Doubleheader at 5 and 7. Prep football, girls tennis as well, but the football game, the Buffalo Bison coming to Coon Rapids, and that should be a fun little 5A matchup. But until then, for our director, Neil Hennon, and my broadcast partner, Howie Shapiro, I'm Bill Hupp saying good night from Coon Rapids, where in the boys' game, Cardinals fall 1-0 to Centennial, and in the girls' game, it's all Cougars 10-0 over the Cardinals. Thanks for watching this presentation of Coon Rapids Soccer on CTN Coon Rapids.